you know your gnomes? A gnome is a fictional character often found in fairy tale stories. Fairy tales are short stories that are fantasy, a type of fiction story with very unrealistic things like magic, elves, gnomes, and fairies, of course, which is why they're called fairy tales.
In the fairy tale Rapunzel, a beautiful girl is locked high in a tower, but people are able to climb up to her when she lets down her long braids. That's when you weave and wrap hair into knots like a rope. In the fairy tale Sleeping Beauty, a knight defeats a dragon with his sword, which is like a long knife. Then he kneels to wake the sleeping princess.
Maybe you knew a lot of these stories already, but did you know that the words I've been using have a silent letter at the beginning that we can't hear? Sometimes we don't hear the first consonant when two of them go together.
Let's practice some of these silent sound patterns now. When you see the letters appear on the screen, say the sounds they make, then we'll blend them together to make the words. R. Remember, we don't hear the W when it comes before the R. R. Right. Right. We have a G-N. We don't hear that G in front of the N. We only hear the N. Ah. Gnaw. To gnaw something is to chew it. This is another example where we have the K before the N. When you have a K right before the N, we don't hear the K. We only hear the N. Ot. Not. It. Night. There's two different versions of the word night. Without the K, it's night like nighttime when the stars come out. And with the K, it's a knight like a knight in armor, like a warrior. Now let's practice our high frequency words. You need to know how to read these and write these because these are words that we use a lot. If you don't know the word, say it after I do. Bin. It sounds like bin and it looks like bean. But when we say it, we say something like, where have you been? Oh, I have been at home. Children. That is the plural of child. We don't say childs, we say children. Month. Question. There. There's three different versions of the word there. And this one with the E-I-R at the end means it belongs to them. They brought their materials to school. Year. And a couple of vocabulary words that we need to know the meanings of when we use them. Country. That is a nation that people belong to. The country that I live in is the United States. Gathers. If somebody gathers something or an animal gathers something, that means they collect it and bring it together. Like the squirrel gathers nuts to eat later. Joke time. What did the sea say to the Little Mermaid? Nothing. It just waved. What kind of pet did Aladdin have? Don't say monkey. I'm not talking about his monkey. A flying carpet. It's time for the spelling words. After I say each word, pause the video to give yourself time to write it down on a whiteboard or a piece of paper. Then unpause the video to see if you got it right. For each word you get correct the first time, give yourself a cone, because a cone is the shape of a pointy gnome hat or a unicorn horn. All right, ready? Gnat. The small gnat buzzed around my head. Gnat, we don't hear the G. This is a small insect, a little flying bug. Gnu. The gnu was grazing on the grass in the African prairie. New, we don't hear the G at the beginning of this. It sounds like the word new, like something is brand new, but this is actually a type of animal. It's kind of like an ox. It's a type of antelope that has horns and a mane and lives in the prairies of Africa. The next word is know. Do you know how to spell the word know? It's not like yes and no. The way I use that word is knowledge. Do you know something? That has a K at the beginning and a W at the end. The next word is knife. I used a knife to spread the butter on the bread. Knife has a silent K at the beginning. Been. I've been practicing my spelling words. Have you been practicing? Been. Write. I want you to write the correct spelling of the word right on your board or paper. When you write something down, it has a W that we don't hear at the beginning. Wrong. If something's not correct, it is wrong. That has a silent W before the R as well. Now a couple of words from last week with the aw sound. The first word is cause. What was the cause of the problem? Cause. A-U makes the aw sound in that one. The next word is dawn. When the sun rises in the morning, that time of the day is called the dawn. On with an A-W this time. And the last word we're going to practice is their. They brought their backpacks to school. So this version of their means it belongs to them. There. Okay, how many pointy gnome hat or unicorn horn cones did you collect?
Hopefully you'll read some fairy tales soon, or write your own stories full of magic and make-believe creatures like fairies, unicorns, and gnomes. Now it's time to move and groove to the Sherlock Gnomes dance video by Go Noodle.